Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, yes. Give me a moment here to set up. Dun. Right then, right then. Hello, hello. Yes. So, transfer window almost up. By the way, I've just been interrupted. Donnarumma is done. Donnarumma is done. I think. Wait, let me see if this is real first. This is real Fabrizio, right? Yeah, it's real Fabrizio. Hey. Well then, we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's just talk about transfers as they are. Let's just talk about that first. So, a bit of a side topic here, but Ortega apparently still wants to leave. Ortega has been hanging around for a while now, hasn't he? Ederson has left at last. Took him a while, didn't it? Took him a good while. Welcome, Donnarumma. A goalkeeper. I mean, we've gotten 3 goalkeepers in one window, so I guess that ain't a problem for next season, then. Isak to Liverpool, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Liverpool is pressing the league title, aren't they? Subscribe to Alf, get him to 1.1k. We are close to 1.1k, so yes, do subscribe. I think we're 12 away. We're 12 away. Anyhow, Ortega news. Nothing really new, nothing interesting, so let's go to the interesting news. Donnarumma to Man City. Now, I rate Donnarumma highly. I think everyone knows I rate Donnarumma highly if you watch my channel consistently. I like Donnarumma. I think he's a great goalkeeper. Oh, but he's not good with his feet. Nobody cares. You've got defenders, midfielders, attackers who are all good with their feet. You don't need your goalkeeper to be good with their feet. You need your goalkeeper to stop shots. We've not had a goalkeeper who stops shots for a while. Until Trafford, who I think has not played a bad game yet. With the exception of the Spurs game, but I don't even think he was the problem there. Yeah, he gave away a ball in the Spurs game, and that led to a goal, but Ederson has done this as well, and that's from the manager who instructs this type of play in your own 16-yard box. If you look at Trafford in the Brighton game, he was playing the ball more long, which shows that Pep has said, okay, the short build-up not working, let's just go long. So that mistake from Trafford you saw in the Spurs game, that's not happening again. Pep has decided, bollocks this, we're not doing this anymore, play the ball long. So Trafford will not make that same mistake either. Donnarumma is better than Trafford, don't get me wrong. But Donnarumma does not solve an awful lot for me. That's nothing against him. Nothing against him, but he is such a great goalkeeper. But is he really gonna be the difference for this team when we've got no defense? I think we got a top goalkeeper, and I think he's better than Trafford, so let me just put it there. I'm not complaining about the upgrade. I'm not complaining about the upgrade. It's a definite upgrade. I'd have preferred a right back, to be honest. Maybe I'm being a bit too negative, but I mean, we can still get a right back. The window isn't closed yet, so we could still get a right back. Erik ten Hag got sacked. Yeah, he did. That's a record, by the way. That is a record. That is shared fastest sacking in the Bundesliga. Oh, I pinned the wrong comment there. I mean, I could keep that comment pinned, but nobody cares about Ten Hag here, do we? But that's a shared record with some other guy. 2 games. 2 games to getting sacked. Wow. Ortega leaving on loan, probably. I'm not sure that I agree with that. I think Ortega will probably just be here. For the next... I think he'll be here until January, maybe. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Imagine if he's here until January. Marguerite to Liverpool. Fuck off. What watch long are you doing? Well, I'll set up my watch longs tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. Big Man Donna. Big Man. Oh, Big Man. It's at the tune of Big Man Blastoise. Big Man Donna. I see what you're doing, Rosa. I see what you're doing. Yes, we've got a big man in net. Not good enough. I'll talk about that later, but this goalkeeper, as good as they get. We'll talk about the rest of the squads in a moment. Kaburi's loan to West Ham. West Ham? Sorry, Wrexham. Wrexham, my apologies. Does not include an option or an obligation to buy. Why is it impossible to sell this guy? I mean, at this point, yeah, you might as well play this guy. Yeah, you might as well play this guy. We've got no right back, and I don't know if he even counts as academy anymore. I don't think he's over 21, so probably not. But what are we doing here? Yeah, loan numbered, whatever. It's a serial number at this point. He should have he should have his loan counter up. How many loans has this guy been on? Kaburi. Let's see it. How many loans has this guy been on? We're about to find out. So he joined us from KV Mechelen, of course. And went back to Mechelen on loan. 1. 2. He went to Troyes. I didn't even know that. 3. Went to Marseille. 4. Went to Luton. Benfica. 5. 6. 6 loan deals, and now he's going to Wrexham. That's 7 loan deals. My god, what the fuck are we doing with this guy? I'm gonna have to tweet this out. I already forgot how many it was, but that's 7 loan deals, I think it was. KV Mechelen. But why did we even buy this guy? He wasn't even that good in the Belgian league. I swear to God, he wasn't even that good in the Belgian league. And I watch the Belgian league not every game, but most games. Troyes, Marseille. I mean, that's just a ridiculous amount of loans, isn't it? Marseille, Luton, Benfica. Luton, Benfica. And then it was Werder Bremen, yes. Werder Bremen. And now Wrexham. What are we doing with... how much longer does he have left on his contract while we're here? Man City wages. Let's see what his contract situation is like. Issa Kaburi. Oh, Esbrand is still here as well. 2027! Hey. Nobody cares about Kaburi. Fair enough. Fair enough. I will move on from Kaburi. But nah, I do care. We're wasting our time with this guy. Just like I'm wasting your time with Kaburi. The club is wasting our time with him. So, yeah, let's move on from that. The only major signing this window. What a disgrace. This club's been in the past 2 years. Tijani and Cherki were signed in the Club World Cup special window. I assume you mean Tijani, Aitnouri, and Cherki. We've literally done nothing. We've sat around and done nothing. We've looked around and done nothing. We've hoped that transfers happen, but we've not made anything happen. We've just been sitting around. We've been waiting. We forgot to do transfers. And then suddenly, we realized, oh fuck, we have to get rid of players. And then in a panic, we started getting rid of players. If we had gotten rid, I know, I'll get there. If we had gotten rid of some players, like Gundogan, who's leaving now. If we had gotten rid of Gundogan a month ago, we would have enough time to go buy, I don't know, Gibbs White, to go buy Morgan Rogers, to go buy whoever you like in midfield. As long as it's a homegrown midfield option, because I'd like to keep a homegrown slot open for the right back or the centre back or whatever is coming through. But yes, I know this. We'll get there in a moment. Maybe we're the most pissed off and realistic Man City that are. Maybe we're the most pissed off and realistic Man City fans that are. And we ain't even English. Mancunian fans especially, they're Glazers. The club has been a disgrace. You know what it is, yeah? It's the facts. Most Man City fans growing up in Manchester did not experience success for the majority of their lives. That's the facts. That's the facts. Majority of Man City fans are old and very young. So you've got this discrepancy. I mean, if you talk about Man City's fan base, Man City has one of the biggest fan bases in football. However, that fan base is all above the age of 35 and under the age of 18. We've got a very big young fan base, the biggest young fan base in English football. And we've got a very big fan base over the age of 35. Old people, basically, to say it without being offensive. Those old people haven't experienced success. Those younger, for the most of their life, so they have a lower standard. Those young people, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest right now. If three adults are having a conversation about football, and there's a 15-year-old kid who walks in and starts trying to talk shit, nobody's gonna care, are they now? Children are more absorbed in their high school world and stuff. No adults are listening to them. And if you look at the internet demographic, that is ages 21 to 30, which is also why Man City has a small fan base on the internet, because that's our smallest portion of our fan base. Ages 21 to 30 are the ages where we transitioned between from a small club to a big club. So the Mancs who are in that age bracket will have experienced us being shit. But the foreign fans will have only began watching Man City because we were good and become a fan because of that. So it's a difference in perspective. I think perspective matters. But I'm gonna be honest, if you're an old fan, you kind of need to get to the point where the club has changed and so should you. Galdoon is cooking. No, he ain't. Galdoon ain't cooking shit. Liverpool moving like City of the past. I mean, City never moves like that, let's be honest, but don't be confused, Liverpool fans, because this is always what Liverpool has done. One humongous window and 5-6 years of small expenditure. So Liverpool is going to be very well set up for the next 2 or 3 years. And then they'll stop spending. And then it will go downhill. That's how Liverpool goes. It's a cycle for them. And let's be honest, let's be fair to them. With the resources they have available, maybe that's the best they can do. Because they aren't as financially behemoth, I guess, as Man City. But if they start winning 3 titles in a row or stuff like that... yeah, then I don't even know. Anyhow, moving on. Tijani looks awful. One good game against Wolves and he went missing. I disagree. Tijani played very good against Wolves. Played okay against Spurs in the first half. In the first 20 minutes, should I say, until Ait Nouri went off injured. And he played good in the first half. But then, the thing is here, Tijani is the only one in that midfield running. If Nico Gonzalez is in that midfield, you have a bit more running, but then it's a partnership there that doesn't work. So Tijani is doing all the running. Tijani as one player is running for 3 players. Himself and the 2 other midfielders. Even when Rodri is there, Rodri is just back from an ACL. He's not ready to do this stuff, is he? He's just not. He's just not. So, I mean, pay attention to the Brighton game. Rodri is barely running. Unless he absolutely has to. Expected from someone who's coming off an ACL. But that is meaning that Tijani has to run. But not just himself. But not just Rodri. But also Silva, who's very slow. We know this. He slows down a lot. 30 minutes running for 3 players is the equivalent to playing a 90-minute game. So that's why Tijani, by the time he can even get into the game, he's already exhausted. I think that's the problem. Let's make a theoretical world here, where you insert Tijani. Let's say Tijani, Rodri, and Gonzalez. Tijani, Rodri, Gonzalez. Let's say this. So Rodri and Gonzalez and double pivot. Gonzalez just, whatever you rate him as yet, just tell him run. Just tell Gonzalez run, press, hardcore, heavy metal football, right? Run, 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 run. Be an engine. Now Tijani doesn't have to run as much anymore. Tijani can focus on creating. Now Tijani can play better. Now Tijani can look better, should I say, because he already plays well for 30 minutes. And then he's dead because he's been running for 3 players. This would work. And I think we might see it. In Pep's credit, I think we might see it soon because I think he's starting to realize that it won't work. Or at least something similar to that. Akanji is gone at last. Right, I've not talked about Akanji here. The board is absolutely jacking off, by the way. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Akanji should have been gone well before. Ederson should have been gone well before. Gundogan should have been gone well before. Why are all of these things happening on the last fucking day? What the fuck are we doing? We still have no right back. We still have no Jared Bowen or likewise just different winger who scores. I don't care how shit they are, yeah? If they score, they are better than what we have. Not as a starting player, but just if you need a goal, bring him off the bench and they can score. Like the guy at Spurs, the Welsh guy. I always forget his name. Let me look up his name. Brennan Johnson. Like that guy. Oh, but he's shit. Okay, he can be shit, but if he scores a goal, he scores a goal. So if you need a goal, off the bench. But we've been sitting around here. We've been sitting around, now suddenly the players are leaving. Akanji leaving, I mean, I argued a lot about Akanji not being good enough anymore and him having to leave. Not sure why so many people wanted Akanji to stay, but I'm just happy he's gone at this point. It is a loan deal. I believe they paid 2 million. If they win Serie A, they have to buy him. It's 15 million pounds. They probably won't win Serie A. If they play him for 50% of the games, they also have to buy him. So, yeah. We waited too long. If we got rid of this guy earlier, we could have signed up other players already. Echeverri can only come back in January. Yes. So Witsumaba and Echeverri, you can only recall them in January if my understanding of these loan deals is correct, which you can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But I do believe only in January can you bring them back. And actually, it's not a small squad, is it though? We've got 27 players in this squad. No, 26, because Gundogan has left. Very cool. We've got 26 players in this squad, which is one more than the maximum allowed players. So we've still got Ortega, Phillips. By the way, Phillips is not leaving. That's been confirmed, so let me take him out of here and just I don't know. Phillips. Why is it so somber looking? I'll just make a separate category for Phillips. He can hang out over here, I suppose. So, right now, as it stands, with Gundogan having left, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 players on the bench, 11 players in starting 11, which makes for a 26-man squad. It's not a small squad. It's just a very bad squad. But yeah, we'll talk about Phillips more in a second. They can only come back in January, so stupid loaning out everyone. Now we are stuck with injuries. Yeah, Phillips. Skull emoji. Bob is injured now. I've not seen anything about Bob being injured. Oscar the Bob. And I'll open City Extra here separately. Oscar the Bob has suffered a knock. Nah, this is bullshit. Come on, we know better than this. Come on, we know better than this. This is just dodging international duty. Come on now, Earl. We both know he's just dodging international duty, which I like. We should be doing that a lot more. Yeah. He's got a knock just as international. Nah. He's capping. Big up to Bob. Love that. Now I'm gonna call out the board. I've been calling out the board consistently, but not getting a right back, so. I don't know why Leo won't. It's like they're scared to blame Pep and the players. Where's Leo? I don't know why Leo won't. It's like they're scared to blame Pep and the players. Who's Leo? Why people? Oh, people won't. Okay. It's like they're scared to play Pep and the players. It's like they're scared to call out the board, so blame Pep and the players. Well, Pep has to take the blame though, doesn't he? He postponed the rebuild. You can talk about the board all you like. I think Viana fucked up by not getting a right back, yes. I think that, was it Soriano who blocked the move for Savio? I think Soriano had a massive stinker there. But if we start compiling all the stinkers of Pep recently, I think Pep is still the one to blame as well. Rodri is pissed off. I would get why if I was Rodri. But nah, the board has fucked up. The board has fucked up. Pep has fucked up. The entire club is fucking up. Everyone. The players, the manager, the board, the entire club is fucking up right now. We need a right back, for fuck's sake. But there isn't much time left. There's no time left. I'ma be honest. When does the window close? I think it closes 7 PM UK time. When does the Premier League summer window close? 7 PM UK time. So 1.5 hours remaining to get a right back. I don't think it's happening, if I'm being very honest. I don't think it's happening. I talked about Donnarumma already. But yes, Akanji has left. I've had this open for 20 minutes and I've not talked about Akanji yet. Akanji, he's just not good enough anymore, is he? Now, with Akanji leaving, our not homegrown has gone down to 18 out of a maximum 70. Which means Ortega cannot be registered, so he has to be sold. Because otherwise we pay his wages and we can't even use him. Ortega has to get sold immediately, I think. I mean, even loaned out. If you can loan this guy out, at least you're getting rid of his wages, or the majority of his wages at least. So, Akanji leaving, it was a must. Just homegrown-wise, quality-wise. I don't think he'll do well, by the way, at Inter. I'll be very surprised if he plays 50% of the games for them. Which means, since Inter will not win the league title in my opinion, he's probably coming back after this loan stint. And how much longer does he have left on his contract after that? I should not have closed this tab. I had Man City wages tab open earlier. I closed it. Akanji. I mean, these are ridiculous wages, by the way. 2027 as well. There you go. 2027. So, yeah. Grim days with Akanji. Anyhow, Calvin Phillips now. Calvin Phillips. Club on its arts. Bro. We've waited until the final day to get anything done. We just went on a 2-week holiday. Then we came back and we were like, oh shit, we've got like 24 hours left. Let's try to speedrun this shit. Big up Adam, how are you? Where do you think Ortega's gonna go now? Anywhere except for Man City is fine with me. Inter lost yesterday by Super Cup host Udinese. Yeah, Inter is struggling. Inter is struggling right now. Anyhow. Is there a use for this guy? I mean, he can't even get into the squads. I mean... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... Oh, Christ. We can register Calvin Phillips if we want. If we want, Calvin Phillips can be registered to the Premier League squad. We have 17 not homegrown players, which is the maximum allowed. 16 technically, since Hutsnov is still underage. So we're fine on that. And with Calvin Phillips included, we only have 25 players. If we want, we can register Calvin Phillips. At home. Breaking news. Donnarumma has signed his contract at Man City. Yes. I mean, we already knew he signed, but there you go. Let's see quickly. I'm sure that City Extra will post this out as well. Let's see quickly about the contract signed. Big up Donnarumma. Contract signed and everything. Finally a goalkeeper who can stop shots. Only took us, how many years? When did Edison arrive? 2000, well, Claudio Bravo before him was woeful, so 2016. Yeah, it took us, 9 years. 9 years to sign a good goalkeeper. Just a little while. Anyhow, Calvin Phillips we're stuck with until January. Genk won 3-2 over Zulte Waregem. Zulte is making teams struggle, aren't they? They're also winning games. Zulte is surviving, I'm telling you. Zulte is surviving. Genk struggling that much against them. Club Brugge struggling that much. Anderlecht, Union, we're all struggling against them. All the big teams. Galatasaray have offered Gundogan. In fact, this is actually outdated because Gundogan has already left. Gundogan has left. He's joining Galatasaray, which I've talked about a little bit earlier. That's a big amount of wages that drop, but that's just paying for Donnarumma. Gundogan leaving just pays Donnarumma. So, we're not really freeing up wages there, are we? So, with Gundogan gone, we still don't have a squad, really, do we? Do we go sign another player? Do we go sign a homegrown midfielder? What do we do here? Is there enough time to sign anyone? Who do we sign? If we sign anyone, who? Is there enough time? I don't think there is. We needed to get this stuff done sooner, I'm telling y'all. This should have been done much sooner. Gundo leaves, Stones in midfield, and bring back Yuma Bar from loan. Hey, that's actually an idea, you know. That is actually an idea. Yuma Bar will get whatever number. I'll give him number, I don't know, 2. We've got no number 2. And it's not a bad idea, though, I'm gonna be honest. Because Stones, I do not rate Stones as a center back anymore. He's too slow, he's too old, he's too broken down. He's not old, but he's broken down. His body is broken down. As a DM, I think as a backup DM, more specifically, I think he can do more of a job. It means you don't have to register Calvin Phillips throughout the squad, which is a big plus. Yuma Ba, you know how highly I rate Yuma Ba. I mean, I'd just put Yuma Ba in here ahead of Diaz, to be honest. Or ahead of Fusanov, since this is two right-sided centre back. Yeah. To be honest, I'd just put him ahead of Fusanov here. And when Gvardiol is back, I'd put Gvardiol as the starting centre back together with Yuma Ba. I can like, that's an idea. It won't happen. It will not happen. But our defense would be mad solid. Yuma Ba is fast as well, isn't he? In fact, you know what, yeah? Drop Nunez. Put Gusenov here. There you go. You've got a back 3. Stones can play centre back. Ake can play centre back if need be. Gvardiol will come back, so then Diaz will get dropped. Rosa, you're cooking. Why are you? Rosa, why are you not on the recruitment team? You're actually cooking up something. There's like 7 hours. No, there's 1.5 hours left, unless I saw that wrong. Premier League summer window. Windows Premier League summer window close. 7 p.m. UK time on Monday, so that's less than that's actually less than an hour. Less than an hour remaining. No, it's less than an hour. I just looked it up. 7 UK time. Sorry, 1.5 hours. Yes, I was right the first time. It's 1.5 hours. That is confusing me now. Tijani is useless, only good at attacking. By the way, I hope you're joking about Ten Hag being available, because he's hideous. Tijani is not useless. I completely disagree. I mean, he looked great against Wolves. When we played against Spurs, he looked good for 20 minutes with Aït-Nouri there as well. Aït-Nouri went off, the entire system collapsed. Everyone looked useless. Because there was no system when Aït-Nouri came off. Against Brighton, he looked good, Tijani. He looked good for 30 minutes. But again, Tijani is running for himself. He's doing the running for Rodri, because Rodri is not fit enough to do that stuff yet. No blame on Rodri, by the way. He's just back from an ACL. Give him time. And he's doing the running for Silva. Tijani cannot run for 3 players. He's doing 3 times the work he should be doing. So after 30 minutes, he's run like he's played 90 minutes. Maybe not distance, but intensity. Exhaustion. So by the second half, he's exhausted. And when you're exhausted by the second half, yeah, you're gonna get exposed. You're gonna get mad destroyed. What we need is someone else there who can cover for Tijani. Energy-wise, I suppose. Just strength, energy, work rate in the box. That's what we need, I think, and then he'll look good. If we had Gibbs White, if we had bought Gibbs White, and let's say we sell Silva, you don't even need to sell Silva. With Gundogan leaving, you put Gibbs White in this squad. You've got 25 players. Fuck Calvin Phillips. You've got 25 players. You're fine. So we could put Gibbs White in here had we bought him. And then we would not have all those issues, would we? Then we'd have just Engine in midfield. Tijani able to go up a bit more, and Rodri being covered by the both of them. Now you're both just doing 1.5 times running, which means you're gonna get tired, but then you can get subs off. O'Reilly can come on for Tijani, and whoever can come on for Gibbs White, but that's not what we have. Just an hour. I think that has to be the last seconds deals wrapped up. I don't think we're doing anything more. Birds showed more ambition, I agree with this. Birds went out there, did their job. I think it's, what's his name again? Soriano, who blocked the deal. Soriano, I'm sorry, mate. What the fuck were you smoking when you blocked that deal for Savio? I mean, no offense to Savio, but he is not getting as many goals as Rodrigo, is he now? If we had gotten Rodrigo, there you go, goals into the team, and we'd look a lot better already. We wouldn't look as Haaland FC as we are right now. We fucked up. I'm being real, we fucked up. All summer long, we fucked up. Now, so there's something to technically talk about with Husanov here. Husanov is apparently injured. So is, what's his name? Bob? Knock. Husanov, knock. I can safely tell, I will bet both my balls, I will bet both my testicles right now that neither Bob nor Husanov are injured. They're not injured. They're just pretending to be injured because we have an international break and they can rest up in that international break. In fact, do not be surprised if Erling Haaland comes out with a knock soon as well. In fact, let's see if Haaland has picked up a knock yet. Nothing new here so far. But yeah, if Haaland picks up a knock soon, don't be surprised. Like, let's be honest. It's just nonsense, isn't it? It's just nonsense. Like, these players aren't injured, they're skipping international duty, which I actually like. We should have more players skipping international duty. Yeah. Especially Rodri, Stones, and Foden. I'm sorry, Foden, but you're diabolically bad for England, so don't even bother going. Stones, you're made of fucking glass. Please preserve yourself for City. And Rodri, Spain does not need Rodri to beat whoever the fuck. Spain national. Let's see who they're playing. Bulgaria and Turkey. Does Spain need Rodri to beat Bulgaria and Turkey? They don't. Let's be honest. They don't need you, Rodri. Not for those games. Keep yourself fit. Keep yourself ready for Man City. Because we need you right now. And then in the World Cup you can be fit too. For Spain when they actually need you. Replacing the like of Rodri next season will cost a fortune. I think replacing the like of Rodri is going to be incredibly impossible. I don't think that's the case, Alf. I think they're generally injured. Why would they all become generally injured with minor injuries, by the way? Minor injuries, which they're all coming back before, by the end of the international break. Don't think they're injured. And even if they are injured, they're coming back before the international break is over, so it's not a big problem, is it? Spain, they're always in first game. In first game, I suppose you mean. But Rodri does not need to play for Spain against Bulgaria and Turkey. If Rodri wants to make an impact for Spain, keep yourself fit for the World Cup. Yo, big up Tausif. For how much longer are you going to continue streaming? Until we strike the hour, probably. Let me just check quickly if there's any new news. So yeah, that's another 15 minutes until I call it quits. And doesn't look like it's anything new yet. So let's actually discuss our squads now. Now that we've gone through all the news so far. Again, I'll check every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, even if there's any news. So, this is what I imagine our squads to look like. Now that with injuries and with the players leaving, Phillips is in there. He's not gonna play, let's be honest. Is he even gonna be registered? I don't reckon he'll be registered. Ortega will probably leave before the window is done. He'll go somewhere on loan, I reckon. But if I'm looking at this squad right now, let's start with starting 11. Donnarumma, great, love that. Love that. Let me do. Purple is luxury player. This is a luxury player, isn't it? So is Haaland. And that's all the luxury players on the pitch. And I'll get back to why Rodri isn't in a minute. It's Nuri. No, that's a terrible color. Can I have a better color than this, please? I need a green that's more deep. Yeah, sure, that's better. Nuri, Armush, Diaz, Husanov. Yeah, sure, Husanov. I think are all good players. Tijani too. Tijani, I think, is also a good player. But here's the problem with these players. We're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first team players, so I think are actually good enough to start week in, week out. Rodri is not ready yet. Rodri is coming back from an injury. Give him time. He's gonna come back to his level. Rodri is Rodri. He's gonna come back to that level. But you need to give him some time. He's not ready to start week in, week out. Pop, he's not ready to start week in, week out. Because he's a young player. This is a breakthrough season. He needs to be playing 1 game a week. 90 minutes. And then maybe 90 minutes 1 week, then 20 minutes the next week. Rotate. Rotate him. Don't play him every game. He's not ready for that. We've seen it 3 games in a row in the Premier League. Could not handle the 3rd game. Just couldn't handle it. He's too young, too inexperienced. Then I look at Silva and Nunez. Silva is not good enough anymore. He's just not. Nunez is not good enough for where he plays. If, let's say, imaginary scenario. We sell Doku. Let's imagine we sell Doku and we start using Nunez as a right winger. Now you go buy a right back. This works. I'm fine with this. I think Nunez is good as a right winger. Or as a right left winger, wherever you want to put him. For a little while. As a right back, no. Absolutely, categorically not good enough for me. Then we get to the bench. We get to the bench, guys. I still can't believe he didn't sign a right back. Shame on Pep. No, shame on the board on that one. This is the one thing I have to be fair to Pep to and have to blame the board on. The board fucked up on a right back. Pep wanted Livramento. The board did not buy Livramento. Come on. Biggest problem. Did not buy Livramento. We went from the best right back in Premier League history. Undeniably. Kyle Walker is the best right back in Premier League history. We went from that to not having a right back. The drop off is not noticeable, not big, not instrumental. The drop off is from the best ever to the worst possible scenario. You cannot put that drop off in numbers. We went from the best, I'm repeating myself, but you need to get this. We went from the best ever right back in Premier League history everybody but Kyle Walker into their all-time Premier League 11. I'll say Chelsea fans, United fans even, put him into best all-time Premier League 11. Best ever to not having any right back. From the best possible to the worst possible. That drop-off is insane. And we did not even try to replace him. We did not even try to replace him. Pep wanted a replacement. The board said, very good. Pep wanted Livramento. The board did not buy Livramento. Okay, maybe Pep has to say, you know what, no Livramento, fine. Give me Hoover, give me Matty Cash. I'm just throwing out names. Doesn't have to be any of these guys, but give me Dumfries, give me Vanderson. He could have said any name, right? But still, it's on the board to go find a right back for Pep that Pep can use and that improves our squads. So shame on the board for that, not on Pep. However, I think Pep would still invert the right back if he gains. And that is a caveat, but I blame that on the board. Anything can happen on deadline days, I'm just saying. If we sign a quality right back, sell Doku, and move Nunez to being a right winger, or Lewis to being a right winger, then I will say it's an 8 out of 10 window. Currently it stands at a 3 out of 10 window. But I don't think we will sign a right back. Unfortunately, I fully agree. Yeah, glory to the top Spurs. They're actually moving like a serious club. We could have signed Livramento, yes. Or Dumfries, but we didn't. We could have signed a lot of right backs, let's be honest. There's so many right backs out there. People are acting like the right back market is dead. It's not. I'm going to name 14 right backs right now, top of my head, that are all better than what we have right now. Yeah? Yeah? Let's go. Yeah, let's go. So, Matty Cash, Ola Aina, Hinchelwood, Ben White, Derek Lamptey, Wan-Bissaka, Jet Spence, Jana Hoover, Vanderson, Livramento, Says, Dumfries. By the way, every right back I've mentioned so far was available at some point in the window. I've gone through 12 right backs. Jelle Bataille and McAllister. I don't know what his first name is. Played in the Belgian league. I've just went over 14 right backs and I forgot Munoz. That's 15 who were available at one point or another. Tete, 16. That Man City could have bought. We got no one. Even if you don't think they're good enough for City, if they are better than what we have available, and they're the best we can get at the moment, should have bought them, put them in one season, go get the proper right back the next. We didn't try. We did not even try. That's poor. Really, really poor. Grim squads, we win nothing with Pep. We win nothing. You could have stopped there. But Guehi, I think, is not going to Liverpool. No, I believe it's here we go. I think he's I think that deal is done. I think that deal is done already. So I do think he's going to Liverpool. I think he's already there, even. David Ordenstein. How old is that news? Elephant in the room. Do you think 115? No. No. Why would we go spend 400 million in 6 months if 115 was an issue? No. Issa Kaburi. No to Issa Kaburi. No. No bueno. Anyhow, let's continue going through the squads, yeah? I'll be ruthless here with Savio. Not good enough to be starting. Not good enough to be here, in general. I'll be ruthless. I'll be ruthless with him. Not good enough. Simply not good enough. Stones. No longer good enough as a centre back. I think he lacks the pace you need to be a centre back in this specific system. You could make him work in some system, but the way Man City plays, no. If Pep changed the way we play, or he put him in midfield to start, yes, he could do something. But the way we play right now, Stones is not good enough anymore to do that role. The way we're currently playing. So, then we get to the players that are good enough. Guardiola, I think, is good enough. I think he's our best centre back. Trafford, I think, is also good enough. And Bettinelli is not a starting goalkeeper, but I think a third choice goalkeeper, I mean, who cares, right? Who cares? Trafford, I think, is more than good enough. I think people overhate Trafford. Cherky and Foden, if they can stop getting injured, I think they'll ball out for us. If they can stop getting injured. But then we can come to these guys. And this is where it's really, really grim. I like O'Reilly. I like Kovacic. I like Gonzalez. I like Rodri. I like Silva. But none of our midfielders, barring Tijani Reinders, are currently good enough to start week in, week out. Kovacic is not that guy. He's never been that guy. He's been steady Eddie. You bring him in for a game, he's gonna give you a 7 out of 10. He's been the backup. He's been the extra player if you're short-handed. He's been the guy who plays against weaker teams to rest your superior players. Not good enough to start week in, week out. O'Reilly, not ready to start week in, week out. A good player, but he's not ready for that role. He's just not. So, O'Reilly, we cannot expect of this guy to be starting week in, week out, doing the business for us. He's not gonna. He's not gonna. Off the bench he can be fine. In some games he can be fine. But he's too young, too inexperienced, again, in that midfield to be doing this week in, week out. Gonzalez. I don't know if Pep doesn't rate him or what it is with Nico Gonzalez. But whatever the case, clearly he's not good enough to start week in, week out either. Silva is not the player he used to be anymore. He's not good enough, period. Not even week in, week out. He's just not good enough anymore. Period. Rodri is coming back from an ACL. Not ready to start week in, week out. He's not ready. So we have one midfielder of starting quality. The rest either due to inexperience, due to not being graded by the manager, due to being old, or due to coming off an injury, are not good enough or fit enough or ready to start week in, week out. Whatever the reason, Rodri, I love you, you're our best player, you're not ready to start week in, week out. That means we have one midfielder who's ready to start week in, week out. Because Foden and Cherky are both injured. I mean... Moving on. Aki and Lewis. I think neither Aki nor Lewis, in the role that they are currently being positioned in, are good enough to start week in, week out. Now I think, or just good enough in general. I think Lewis, if you played him as a right winger, a backup right winger, I think he'd be good enough for that role. But that is not his role. If you played Aki as a back 3 centre back and you had space next to him in Husanov and Guardiola, I think he'd be good enough for that role. but that is not his role of either of these players. So the role that we ask of these players, they are not good enough for this role. With that being said, I have put us as a squad to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players who are good enough, 2 players who are world class, a variety of players for either injury reasons or whatever reason, not being ready to start week in, week out, and a staggering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players who are not good enough at the role they're being asked to do at Man City. I mean, it really is staggering. It really is. Rodri, I think Rodri, by January, will be back to his old level. By January, Rodri will be top notch again. So sure, we can make Rodri purple. You know, we can make Rodri purple. He won't be there immediately, it will take time. But let's make Rodri purple, yeah? Oh, this is an ugly purple. Let's take a better one. There we go. Sure. We still have 3 players in the starting 11 who should not be starters. Very good option off the bench, very good option against weaker teams. Not ready to start week in, week out. And we just have no right back. Have absolutely no right back. And by the way, this defense is not what we will be playing week in, week out. We will be playing different defenses. You don't win things with this squad, especially when your bench looks like this. You just don't. And again, I love Rodri, but until January, he's not gonna be at that level. I'll say January. January is the point where he's gonna be back at that world-class level. Until then, don't be starting week in, week out. Or at least until a point near then. This is not a good squad. Not by any metric is this a good squad. No depth, no goals, except for Haaland. Yes. Yes, I'm glad we agree. It is incompetence of the board. There are a million right backs I could go off a list right now that the board should have gotten. That wants the right back, they didn't give him one. And look at this. There's, I believe, an hour left. Yeah, there's an hour left to the closing of the window. No news about the right back. None. No news about Doku. None. If you want to do something cheeky to round up the transfer window, this is what I would do. This is how I would make the squad as good as we can make it with the remaining time. You sell or loan either Doku or Savio. I don't care which it is. One or the other. You move Bob to the backup winger slot, for which I think he's good enough. Remember, all of these assignments are based on their role. I don't think he's good enough to be starting week in, week out, but as a backup option, absolutely good enough. Nunez as a right winger, I think he's good enough. I think as a right winger, he's good enough at least for a stopgap season. So there's an improvement there. And then you go sign any right back. Any right back. Whether that right back is... I don't know. I don't know who that right back is. I mean, I've listed my names. But you go buy one. And it can be not homegrown. By letting Doku go, you open a spot, or Savio, again, one or the other. I don't care which one, just one of them. You open a spot for a not homegrown player. Any right back. Any right back in world football is possible. That is the best way we can improve this squad, in my opinion. You get a winger who has proven he can get output, and Nunez by moving up to that winger spot. You get a proper right back. and you allow Bob to be in a role where he'll be much more comfortable, and that is as a backup right back who will get a lot of minutes but will not be starting every week. I think you double the squad strength that way. I'm not exaggerating. I honestly think. I agree, by the way. I agree. If you can't turn it around with Cooked. I honestly think one right back and getting rid of either Doku or Savio, then moving Nunez into that winger slot will make us double as good on a systematic level. Our midfield is still riddled with holes, but we can find solutions to that. Hopefully. Maybe I should not say that with too much confidence, but hopefully we can find solutions to that. Which means, of course, that we can improve, that we can have a good season, that we can improve as the season progresses. In fact, we will improve as the season progresses, because Rodri will go from not ready to good enough, world class, as the season continues. We're only getting better. We're only getting better as the season continues. I suppose to leave off a positive note, we only get better as the season continues. Especially should we move John Stones into a midfield slot, sell or loan, whatever the fuck we do, one of Gonzalez, Kovacic, O'Reilly, and bring in Yumaba. That's, I suppose, the most positive I can leave it off here. But will that happen? Will that happen, guys? I suppose we've got 55 minutes left to find out. And, wild prediction. I don't think that's gonna happen. But if that happens, big up to the board, I suppose. And big up to Pep. It's Manchester Derby in 13 days. Well, let's redirect this to a Manchester United fan. Alfred, down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.